You're listening to another Geek Pride podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geek Pride podcast being recorded live at Manchester's Play Expo.
Indeed, it certainly is.
It certainly is. I'm Sean Wallace, and I have here to my right, to my literal right, my right-hand man.
No
Mr.
metaphorical right here.
Yes, we're all left. I have Ben Fee.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We've been talking for at least 5 hours so far, but good afternoon.
It does feel like that.
It has been that.
So, Geek Pride here at Play Expo. It's been quite an amazing weekend.
It has. It's been quite a good weekend, definitely. We had a bigger space than we had last year.
Yep.
And we've had bigger interest than we had last year. Now, I'd like to say that's because we're becoming a bigger site and more popular, but I think it's entirely down to Rocket League.
The reception to our massive Geek Pride Rocket League tournament has been immense.
It has. We've literally had about 100 people play Rocket League
Easily.
over the 2 days.
Absolutely. We spent most of our time watching people play Rocket League.
It's true, yes. I feel like I'm semi-qualified to actually commentate on Rocket League at the moment.
I feel as though, as much as I love the game and it's a good game, if I saw someone play it again, I would probably gouge my eyes out.
That's another fair assessment. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good game, but it's not really a spectator game. It's one of those I don't get esport spectatorship anyway. I just don't get it.
I agree. I feel as though it's something I should be interested in, as I love video games, but I do not understand the appeal of watching someone play Warcraft for hours and hours.
Now, the only thing I disagree is I do follow people on YouTube, so his money's fallen out of someone's pocket, and it wasn't mine.
It's me.
Ben is literally so wealthy that he can throw 10 pence coins around. What an extravagant display of wealth.
I am living the dream.
So yes, I do follow people on YouTube, but they do like funny compilations of themselves playing games rather than it being like just a stream or a competition between people.
Yes, a competitive game. But then again, I don't understand the appeal of any competitive sport whatsoever.
Or any competition, indeed.
Or sport, or even looking at things, or being alive and existing in the void.
How is your wife, by the way?
It's lovely. It's fantastic.
I mean, I get sport. I'm one of those weird geeks who really loves football. So there's not many of us, but I do get sport. But I don't get spectating for a video game.
Competitive gaming.
Competitive gaming.
Right.
No. I just don't. But then again, I don't get many things. It's fine. There are lots of things I don't get. I didn't get Twilight, and neither did a lot of people,
Yeah.
but it was still made $11 billion.
I don't get a lot of big words, but still people use them all the time.
It's true. You're really more of a 5-letter man, aren't you?
What?
Sorry. 5 righty thing man.
But absolutely, I completely agree with you. There are so many things in geek culture that seem to have a ridiculous amount of popularity that I just can't understand at all.
And it's great. In fairness, it's absolutely fantastic because it means that geek culture has expanded to encompass so much more than it used to.
Yeah.
If you go back about 30, 40 years, it was literally like Star Trek and the random sci-fi films they'd make and Lord of the Rings. That'd basically be it.
Yeah, I mean, you going back to when I was sort of coming up in the geek sort of society and the culture, there were certain viewpoints that were taken as gospel. There was no kind of spectrum of likes and dislikes. It was this is our view. This is how geeks see things. Like Highlander 2. To be a geek, you must hate Highlander 2. That was a rule. There were rules growing up.
I do remember those stone tablets that people used to hand out.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
They were really awkward to walk around with.
They were, but you had to have them. You literally had to. You literally had to.
But people-
The beatings, man. The beatings, Ben. The beatings.
Oh, I'm getting flashbacks. And when people refer to the geek card, they actually mean the huge tablet of stone on which were written the geek commandments.
Yep. I mean, there's still a few. For example, everybody knows that there's only been, 3 Indiana Jones films?
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
That's just, there weren't any
It
more.
stopped after
It's-
the third one. It stopped.
It just completely stopped. There's
Exactly,
just
yes.
no more.
Never happened.
Never happened.
Every single geek would agree that Firefly was cancelled before its time. Wouldn't you agree, Sean?
No. I am one of the few geeks who genuinely didn't like Firefly. It's like a shit Buffy.
You're a shit, Buffy. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I was talking in anger.
It's fine. I know I'm a shit angel. I'm not even
A
Buffy.
shit angel. It's not like a snow angel.
Ooh, ah.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Kids, we're going down to the sewer.
we've reached that level already. It's been seconds.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's just the fact, like, how...
Let's
what
bring it back.
the consistency that it must be in order to leave
Oh.
the angel as well. Like, oh,
What are they eating?
exactly.
It would be at least it'd be a healthy discharge.
No.
Shall we climb our way back out of the sewer?
Let's do our
and
best.
discuss. So I've seen some amazing cosplay here at Play
Yes.
Expo. It's not really the kind of convention where you'd expect to see cosplay, video game, that kind of thing. But there's been some fantastic stuff. Even right now, I can see Luigi walking around. There's been some excellent Final Fantasy cosplay.
There has, absolutely. We had the Chaos Space Marine walking
He
around.
was
Who
amazing.
was incredibly impressive. I'm still most impressed by Eileen the Hunter from Bloodborne, who was here yesterday, who
Ah.
came with the Blades of Mercy that actually separated into 2 separate blades.
That is some commitment to the role there.
Serious commitment. It's just a shame that it was a bloke underneath the costume, because Eileen is, as you can guess from the name, not a bloke.
Are you saying that men can't cosplay as Eileen from Bloodborne?
I'm saying it would have made it perfect if it had actually been a woman playing Eileen. There are male characters from Bloodborne that guy could have done.
Right.
So,
I did
not
see.
that I'm saying it is a hard and fast rule. I just would have really liked it if it had been like a 40-year-old woman, like in the video game.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I have seen some gender bending in the cosplay this weekend, where there was a family who came all dressed up as Lara Croft from the
Yes.
Tomb Raider series. There was a dad, 2 daughters, and his wife. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Like, it was great. I doffed my metaphorical hat to them.
Yes, your little hat stayed on.
I don't have a literal hat. I literally don't have a hat.
That's amazing.
I literally have a metaphorical hat, and I metaphorically have a metaphorical
This
hat.
is some solid gold right here that we're getting into.
All right, I'll shut up. Yeah,
Come back, Sean. Come back. No.
fantastic cosplays. Yeah, like you say, they're not a generally expected one. A few video game ones, but just random ones as well. Quite a lot of ones from anime, which doesn't really have much of a place at Play Expo, but there are tiny pockets that work.
There's someone walking past now as one of the Court of Owls from the recent Batman comic book series.
Absolutely fantastic from the court. There you go. That is a really good cosplay.
I must admit, there's a lot of cosplay that I've seen that I have not known what it was at all.
That's because you're a shit geek.
Probably, yes. I should hand in my giant stone geek card.
Yes, that's what you should do. You did bring it, obviously.
Of course I brought it everywhere.
Was that why you were walking so weirdly?
that and other reasons.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, there was a huge gent dressed, a normal sized gent, but his cosplay was very oversized. He had a ram's skull for a head. I'm sure one of our listeners could probably tell us who that was, but I have no idea.
Do you know, weirdly, he's actually huge as well. He's about 6'6", is that guy.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what helps towards the cosplay.
I
He's
have
enormous
noticed, yeah.
in real life.
Ah, I see. I have noticed a few of the larger cosplay is very much helped by the fact the guy inside is a giant person.
Exactly. That's why the Chaos Space Marine is actually a bit more impressive, because the guy inside is about 5'10", as opposed, and he was still taller than the guy wearing the ram skull and so on.
People don't realise how difficult it is to pull off that kind of Space Marine armour, because the Space Marines are such huge characters. A normal sized man like ourselves just can't reach all the areas of the armour you'd need to make it
No.
work properly.
It's a very good cosplay. When we did Blackpool Comic Con last year, which obviously we shan't talk about any further. There were a good number of Space Marines. There was even a Sister of Battle, which I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, and she was dressed up to be a little bit taller as well. She was about 7 foot in her costume. It was really great.
Amazing, amazing. Was that the convention where you saw that lady dressed as the Emperor?
No, there was a lady a disabled woman who came as a king in the Iron Throne.
Oh, wow.
Which was fantastic. There was also a woman who brought her son in as Hannibal Lecter on the gurney with the mask.
Now, whose idea would you reckon that a cosplay would have been?
I'm going to guess the mother.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope the mother.
Really? There's the child there begging, please, mother, I want to be Hannibal Lecter for this cosplay event.
With some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I've just finished reading the books, watching the films, and watching the TV show, and I really like Hannibal Lecter and all he stands for. I want to be like him.
You want to be like him?
I want to be him.
You want to be him?
I want
Okay.
to eat him.
So the first stage is going to have to be going back in time in order to have been running away from the Nazis in the 1940s.
Well, absolutely, of course. That's the first part of many good plans.
True, very true. Hannibal was a great series, by the way.
I only ever watched the first few episodes.
You need to watch the whole thing.
Don't you tell what to do.
I'm telling you what to do. You need to watch the whole thing. If you like the books and you like the films, you should watch the whole series. It's fantastic.
I've heard very, very good things. It's one of those situations that there's so much good TV at the moment. It's very difficult to plan your schedule.
It's true.
It's like, especially when you see shows where there's 4 or 5 seasons. I don't have time for that. I ain't no got time for that.
Oh, exactly. We watched Rick and Morty for the first time on Friday,
Yep.
me and Matt, and now I'm watching season 2 as soon as I get home.
That is a very good decision.
Because it's an excellent series, very good. I hope it's not like a lot of things Dan Harmon is involved in, and that it's going to get shit after 3 seasons.
That wasn't Dan Harmon's fault.
Well, he was still the showrunner.
Is this Community we're talking about now?
Yes. Yes, people left, but the quality of the writing dropped as well.
This is true, although it's a weird thing. I watched some Community the other week after a very, very long break, and I found myself that I couldn't care about these characters anymore. They were just boring to me. I developed such a time between watching the show and watching it now again that I'd lost all compassion for the characters completely.
Well, that would be because you're a psychopath hoping to be Hannibal Lecter at some point.
I think it was more of a high-functioning sociopath than a psychopath.
High functioning is debatable, but we'll go with it.
Medium functioning. Medium to low functioning.
Adequately functioning. Sociopath. By the way, that was the name of my punk band in high school.
Adequately functioning sociopath.
Yes.
That's a fantastic name for a punk band.
It really is. It's one of those. I went to Costa Rica recently, and we're doing a lot of in-jokes like "That's what she said," and we're also doing the name of my band. And they're two great things. That's what she said and the name of my band are fantastic. They just apply to so many random sentences.
They really are, yeah, just go-to jokes, really. That's what she said. It pretty much works for any line. And you could say, oh, my bills are late this month. That's what she said. I mean, not all of them are gold. Not all of them make sense.
Like you say, you could use them for any line and then throw out the most tin pot line you possibly could.
Really was a shit line, wasn't it?
Yes. Like, I actually got a good one this weekend when Matt said, got to go around the back just like last time. My response, that's what she said. So, it goes very well. Lesser known, that's what he said needs to be brought out more often, I feel.
I agree. And that's what they said.
That's what they said.
That's what he, she, or it said.
Absolutely, that's what Zargon, fourth dimensional overlord, said.
Oh, yeah, he says some crazy shit.
He really does.
Yeah, he lets nothing faze him at all. He has no internal kind of monologue going. Exactly.
No internal monologue whatsoever. So it's going to be my aim to get a That's What He Said in at some point this week.
That's what she said.
Nearly.
I'm going to keep trying that.
That's what he said.
Oh, nice.
Hey. Oh, fantastic.
And we've landed.
We have landed. There we go. It was my aim to get it done this week, and I have done it, so I don't need to worry about that anymore.
There you go.
That's a lesson for you, ladies and gentlemen. Set the bar right down on the floor, step over it, and celebrate it as though you've achieved something.
The lower your expectations, the more you'll achieve in life.
Absolutely. That's what I think I was telling to all of my exes. They didn't listen, unfortunately.
It's a shame.
Oh, dear. So, there's been a lot of good gear around. Obviously, neither of us have bought anything on this trip.
Actually, I have bought some stuff.
Okay.
I've been off a little sneaky wander around the shops here, and I've bought a few things.
What did you buy?
I've been buying presents for my children. I've bought some Pokemon plushies, a little Bulbasaur, and a Pokeball.
No, so they can catch one and the other.
Well, I was going to buy him a little plastic Pokeball, but then I thought as soon as he throws that, as hard as he can with his little arms at the wall, that's going to shatter into a million pieces.
Either that or it would hit the TV.
Yes, yeah. Or my face.
Yes, but one of those could be easily replaced.
That's true. That is true.
And one of them doesn't show Community and Hannibal and so on.
That is also true. One of them is far more valuable than my face.
It's your face.
It's my face. I've also bought some little bits and bobs as well. There's a bargain bin around here.
Oh yeah.
And I am a sucker for a bargain bin. If someone tried to sell me something in a bin, I will buy it.
Excellent.
More readily than I would buy it off a shelf.
That's something good to know. So anyone who's listening who needs to sell some random tats, all you need to do is discount it and put it in a bin.
Or even if they want to sell me something very expensive. If you get like a watch or something at normal price, stick it in a bin, I will more likely buy that.
What about caviar?
Caviar, stick it in a bin, I'll buy it.
There we are.
Anything. If I need it or not, if it's in a bin and it's priced up, I will buy it.
I'm just imagining you coming home now to your good lady wife and children with a big bin of caviar.
Well, that is the best way to serve caviar, in a bin bag.
That's how they do it in Eton, it's true.
Exactly, just get a big bin bag of caviar
hang on, no, bin bag. That changes things drastically. We were talking about a bin. A bin bag's entirely different.
I feel as though we're in a similar sort of area.
No.
What? Well, I thought the visual of a bin bag full of caviar is more appealing to me. It's oozing slightly out of small rips in the bag. It's all wobbly. It's a much more appealing image.
Oh, I don't know. I was imagining you with, like, a literal recycling bin that you put outside of your house, wheeling it in, filled to the brim with caviar.
That's a lot of caviar.
It is, but you've got it at bargain bin prices.
Yes, I did not pay full whack for that caviar.
You did not.
I mean, you could almost climb inside that bin full of caviar.
You could
Bathe
drown
in it.
in that caviar.
That would be an amazing way to die, to drown in caviar.
It certainly would be an expensive way to die.
Expensive way, yes.
But not as expensive because you bought it in a bin.
Well, exactly. So, champagne death, rock bottom prices.
I feel like that should be a slogan for a discount funeral parlour.
I mean, with like a gold leaf around a cardboard box that they put you in?
Absolutely.
It looks
yes.
amazing. It's really not.
They don't actually cremate you. They just set you on fire, let you burn out.
They just microwave you for a few minutes.
On defrost.
It's not like a Subway where you go in, do you want this toasted? Just warmed up. Do you want any veg on that?
Oh my god.
There you go. There's an idea for the makers of Subway there.
Absolutely. That makes me think of, have you seen BoJack Horseman?
I've seen a few episodes, yeah.
That makes me think of, there's a funeral parlour in that has a piece of shit dad package.
Oh, right.
That's what it makes me think of.
And what's in the package?
You get very little.
Right.
That's the point, because he was a piece of shit dad.
It's for your piece of shit dad.
It's for your piece.
It's not for piece of shit dads to buy.
No.
He was my piece of shit dad, and I'm going to buy this.
Yes, exactly. Like an Aldi funeral.
I actually think an Aldi funeral would be quite nice.
It would be surprisingly nice for the price you paid.
A lot of nice fresh veg. Yeah. I mean,
the veg would go off in about 8 seconds, but yeah.
You have to eat it straight away.
You do, you literally do. The moment you leave the supermarket, you have to be eating your red onions.
I mean, if you see veg at a funeral home, you have to eat that quick. That is going to go bad so fast.
It will. People absolutely love it. Matt here doing his best to put us off, but we've all seen him rub his own nipples. Frankly, I'm more surprised when he isn't rubbing his own nipples.
I think we've seen more of Matt than we would like to in the past.
True. And now he's about... In fairness, again, he's about to show us his arse. He shows us his arse every time he bends over. Matt wears a belt, but he purposely does it up so that everyone will see his crack. And the mole that he has by his crack.
Oh my
which
word.
I've seen so often that I've recognised the mole.
He thinks that he is trendy, but it's really about 2004 standards.
Yes, it is. His last vision of fashion happened when the Backstreet Boys were together.
No one's had the heart to tell him these things are no longer fashionable.
No.
He needs to start
he just
wearing.
says to us, I want it that way.
And we say, tell me why, Matthew. He doesn't realise that the kids these days, they're wearing the Baker foil onesies, getting ready for their moon base.
I think you might be thinking of a different 2016.
Fairly sure I'm basing my vision of today on TV shows from the 80s and their visions of today.
Yes. And that's a massive mistake. Stop it. Kids today, as we all know, are wearing basically jeans and t-shirts, and they're sexting and all that stuff.
I do feel surprisingly let down by today's fashions. I mean, you can really place a decade by its fashions, but this decade, it's a little bit boring. I mean, you've got jeans and t-shirts, and everyone's wearing a cap these days.
Quite a lot of caps and hats.
Have you seen these caps that have the little foil circle on them?
No.
People are wearing caps, and there's a little metallic foil circle on the brim that tells you where it's been bought.
Oh yes, sorry, yes, I have seen these. Yes, they're like basically they're like a mark of branding that people leave on.
Yeah, like a seal saying where it was bought from. It's like leaving your price on your jeans. You know, you buy jeans and there's the big see-through thing like saying small or large. People will start leaving those on soon.
Is that why you're doing it then? I've got to say, £1.49 is a bit too little for a pair of trousers.
It was in a bin.
It was in a bin. There you are.
What are you gonna do?
At a shop or?
Nope.
That explains quite a bit. We had to give you a t-shirt when you came here, so...
This is true. That's only because my last t-shirt got vomit on it. You know, it's not my fault.
Your sex life is strange, Ben. Your sex life is strange.
It's ups and downs, like a roller coaster. Someone's screaming and someone's being sick. And sometimes somebody loses an arm.
Absolutely. Oh dear. Yeah, fashions aren't futuristic, but they're basically what you'd expect. We're not really as central as a society as we were. In the same way that geek culture is no longer a monolith, fashion is no longer a monolith. People are able to split themselves off and dress how they want, which is why you don't get everyone dressing the same way as you used to do.
This is true. The monoculture is dying.
It is, which is probably for the best, because the monoculture was shit.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, you were of the right age to be with me that we both probably wore shell suits as children.
I did wear a shell suit as a child.
Exactly, and we didn't have a choice in that.
Nope.
It was just a thing that everyone did.
So you think it's a good thing. You think everyone's doing it, and now I'm offered the chance to do it as well, so I'll do it. It is very much the definition of peer pressure.
It was. Like, your peers were the entire world, whereas now your peers are those you choose for yourself.
Well, I feel as though our vision of the entire world, our sort of experience of the entire world, has blossomed from maybe 4 TV channels and our circle of friends where we live to being the entire world.
That's true. There are some bad things of this, of course, because now the entire world can tell you to die on Twitter.
This is true.
And that's happened a couple of times to us all, I think.
I get it very, very regularly. Very regularly. But not just, I had that all through my life, though, even before the World Wide Web.
That's true. Your parents were really harsh.
Friends, parents, even complete strangers just saying, oh my God, just die, please.
In fairness, you do get confused for Hitler quite a bit, so that would explain it.
Probably the moustache, the hair, the anti-Semitism, but really, I'm a very different person.
You are. You are. It's true.
I actually am a very bad artist. That separates us. And I hate animals.
Animals, really?
Yeah. Hitler loved animals.
Oh, I did not know you hate animals.
I hate animals.
Really?
It's like, come on, evolve already. Join us. Join us here in a speaking world.
Well, you do realise that we've specifically bred them, that they evolved in a certain way, particularly dogs, actually. Particularly dogs. Cats are rumoured to be the way they are because they attach themselves to us and realised they no longer needed to evolve.
That is very interesting.
Yes, that's why they look basically the same in Egyptian time as they do now, because they haven't had to change at all in the last 1,000 or so years, like several thousand years, because they're just as adorable and vicious as they were back then.
Yeah, not a big cat fan. or a dog fan, or a bird fan, monkey fan. I think I pretty much covered it when I said not like animals.
Are there any animals you like? Fish?
I'm a big fan of bacteria.
Bacteria?
Yeah.
Ah, that explains why you're cultivating so many across your face.
I don't like to wash because I feel that it kills off the bacteria, washes it away. It's not really fair on them. I mean, you wouldn't wash away a herd of cats, would you?
Depends what they were doing.
That's a very good point. No.
See, you can't be so totalitarian and say you will never wash away a herd of cats, because it could be this herd is 8 billion large and about to destroy the entirety of San Diego Comic-Con, in which case I probably would wash them away.
I suppose you don't have to tie your hands, do you?
No.
You don't be in that situation and go, I really should do this, but I did say on a podcast that I wouldn't do it.
Exactly, I'm a man of my word.
Exactly, who isn't?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. There we go.
Without getting too political, Donald Trump's not a very pleasant man, is he?
I have never met him.
I used to watch The American Apprentice, and it was sort of fun in a, oh God, what a terrible human being way.
Well, there are lots of people like this in entertainment. People who it's fun to hate them. They're like a Mr. Nasty kind of character.
Yep,
But
Simon
you wouldn't
Cowell.
want them, Simon Cowell, exactly. But you wouldn't want them running for any kind of position in power. I mean,
No, you
if
wouldn't.
Simon Cowell said tomorrow, I'm running for Prime Minister, I'm sure he'd get a lot of votes and attention, but is he really the kind of person you want running the country?
No, I can't even be silly and play devil's advocate there. No, I don't want him running the country. But then again, no. Let's try not to get too political. Let's get away from this as a vein of conversation. Who would you think would be the worst person from comic books to run the United Kingdom?
The worst person
The absolute worst.
from a comic book series
Or a one-off comic book, if
Okay,
that floats
okay.
your boat.
to run the country. I think you're going to be talking someone like, let me see, Dupe.
Dupe. Okay, you've beaten me in terms of geekdom. Who's Dupe?
Dupe is a character from the X-Men comics.
Right.
He is like a green potato that flies around, and inside his body are extra dimensions.
Okay.
He can't speak English, and he just floats around taking pictures of people. He has very little sort of interaction with the world.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So you've gone for quite a practical reason why someone shouldn't be Prime Minister.
Yes, no ability to speak the language, very little interest in the culture or interaction with the culture. Who would your choice have been?
Carnage.
Carnage, the alien symbiote creature from Spider-Man,
Yes.
because of his mass murdering ways or
Yes.
his policies.
Yes, because he's a mass murdering paedophile.
Right, not because of his economic policies or his view on immigration.
I feel like his economic policies would be something along the lines of, I will buy some children to mass murder
That
and then
yeah,
have sex with.
that does sound like him, yeah. But how does that make him different from most politicians currently in power?
Oh.
Topical. Take that,
Topical
Westminster.
humour. Well done. That's true, actually. He'd probably fit right in Westminster. So maybe I should pick differently. In which case, I think I would pick Bizarro Superman.
Bizarro Superman.
Because he'd run the country badly, thinking he was running it well.
But at least you'd know that everything he says was a lie.
That's true, but it wouldn't matter when he'd completely and totally tanked the economy and fired everyone and replaced them all with potatoes.
This is a bit of a difficult game to play. Who would be the worst person in the country? Because you're comparing it to people who run the country quite badly or intend to run the country quite badly. The situation at the moment is it's a bit difficult. A better question would be, who would be the best person for a comic book to run a country? Who would be the best president or prime minister for a comic book, do you reckon?
Well, probably Lex Luthor, because
I like Lex Luthor as a prime minister.
yes, Lex Luthor, because if you think about any of the Elseworlds or stories that are told where Superman does not land in America, Lex Luthor ends up becoming this incredible, president. Like in Red Sun, for example, where
Yes.
he is the savior of humanity.
That's an excellent story. I love the concept that he's so clever. He can call someone to commit suicide with just 12 words or 8 words.
Exactly.
It's a great idea. But you're absolutely right. The only reason why Lex Luthor is a bad guy is because Superman and the concept of Superman has driven him absolutely crazy.
Exactly.
Which is not unreasonable, really.
No, it isn't, and that's why I kind of like Lex from the Batman vs Superman film, because that was what they were trying to display, was someone who had built up this idea that knowledge was power and that he could essentially replicate the abusive dad insofar as being God himself with enough knowledge, and then comes along this alien who outpowers him and outclasses him entirely, and he goes mad.
I can see where they were going with that. They utterly failed, I think, to put that across, but that is an interesting concept.
I felt they did get it across, but that's me.
Was this from the extended version, maybe?
No, in the actual version.
Oh.
There's a lot that they say. There's a lot of hints that he gives. There's
like
good
the jar
old
of urine?
Jesse Eisenberg.
The
No,
urine jar.
not
Is that part of it?
No, that's not part of it.
All right.
Such as, for example, he talks about his father and the way that he treated him. There's a moment where he's giving the speech at the library where Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent are, where he starts talking about his father and then kind of breaks off and actually finishes the speech properly. When he's talking about the picture that he's hung upside down so that the devils are coming from above, he mentions about how, I think he mentions that, that God is terrible, and everybody knows that fathers are our models for God. So I felt it got it across, but then again, maybe I'm just reading a lot of sensible and intelligent storyline into something that wasn't there.
I can definitely see where you're coming from. I found the speech that he made extremely awkward when it was on the screen. I thought I was cringing in my seat, going, I didn't like that at all. And maybe it was the performance or the writing. That would really turn me off, that bit. That, and at the end as well, when he's in his cell and his head's all shaved and he's there gibbering about Thanos or whatever, I thought that it was a little bit badly done. That's an understatement. I hated the film and every single part of it.
Fair enough.
To be honest.
I disagree. I quite like the film.
And I respect your opinion.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Yep, then again, I thought Avengers 2 was terrible and I'm not going to watch it ever again.
Is that Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a fantastic film.
Neither was Ant-Man. Ant-Man was boring and badly written.
I kind of wish, I really wish that Edgar Wright had managed to finish his time on that film.
Yep.
You could definitely see which parts of it were his, or influenced by him, or part of his original script, and which parts of it were Peyton Reed, who came in afterwards to finish it off.
It's a shame, it really is. It's one of those things that will never be, never has been, never will be. You've just got to live with it. Ben, you've got to get over it.
Oh.
It's not your fault.
There's so many projects like that could have been but never materialised. Have you seen the Whatever Happened to, what's it called? It's the documentary about Tim Burton's Superman.
I haven't, but I have seen enough stills to know that I'm very glad Tim Burton's Superman never happened.
Are you kidding me? Nicolas Cage as Superman with that hair.
Exactly.
Oh my god. That would have been immense. I would have loved to see that.
No.
No. It couldn't have been worse than Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman. I have some severe issues with his portrayal.
Okay.
Because to me, it seems as though he's chosen to play Superman as an alien with no concept of social mores or how to behave as a human being, and any kind of social interaction when he is Superman is purely put on for the benefit of humans watching. Like at the end of Man of Steel, there's a bit where he as Superman is talking to the army, and he tells a joke to them. He makes some quip, some humour, and his face says, "Ha, humans like jokes. Here is a joke. Enjoy these." He comes across very, very alien, as if he's read the comics and gone, "Oh, Superman, he's an alien. I'm going to play Superman as an alien," which really grinds against my own personal perception of Superman.
Interesting. Fair enough. I mean, I can see the point you are making there. Yeah, I thought Man of Steel was a terrible film, in fairness. I did not like Man of Steel, which is a shame because it has one of the best Superman themes ever done. The Superman theme from Man of Steel is spectacular. It is so good.
I could not tell you how that goes.
Well, you suck. Big floppy donkey dicks.
Well, there you go. Strong opinions. I actually have a theory that you can place someone's age by what they believe the Superman theme song to be. So if you said to someone, what do you think the Superman theme song is? And they, what would you put that as? What would you say the Superman theme song is?
I've never thought about it, in all honesty.
Right. Because for me...
I think I watched probably the Superman cartoon first, before I watched like the Dick Donner Superman film. I'm trying to think.
So, for me, it's Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark as well. I think that would have been second, yeah.
That's my Superman theme in my head. When someone says Superman theme, that's where my brain goes.
Interesting.
Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's something else. But that for me, that's the theme tune.
I don't know. I think I'd have recognised them all as, all Superman themes matter. I think would be what I would say.
Yeah. The
They're
ASTM movement.
Broadly the same to me. It's like there's no one true Batman theme. There's Batman themes.
This is true. The Tim Burton. Sorry, the guy who did the Tim Burton themes. What's his name? The guy who does The Simpsons as well. He does all the Tim Burton stuff, the music, and his name is not in my brain at the moment. But his music for the Tim Burton Batman films was fantastic. As is the animated series Batman music. That's phenomenal. I couldn't actually tell you how
Batman
the music.
66.
Batman 66, of course. Na 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 Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's done in that monotone as well.
That's how it originally was.
Yes.
But audiences did not go for it at all.
No, they didn't. So they had to add a bit of musical talent in there, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell you how the music for The Dark Knight or...
Bum, 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 bum. It's that tune.
It's very jazzy, I like it.
No, it's done with like...
Gravitas.
Gravitas,
Uh-huh.
yes. More gravitas than I can do saying bum.
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 That's fairly gravitas. Gravitas-y.
Gravitational.
I don't know the word for that. But speaking of theme music in a Christopher Nolan film,
Okay.
I only found out very recently, I'm probably very late to the party, that the music he used in Inception
Yep.
was a slowed down version of No.
Yeah.
That one.
Yep.
Yeah. That dum dum dum. Oh, the use of music in that is absolutely fantastic, because obviously it's slowed down because they're in a dream, and in the
Yes.
dreams everything slows down.
Exactly.
My mind was blown. And there was a lot of hate for that film, for Inception, but I really like it.
It's a very good film. It's not Nolan's best, but it's a very good film.
What is Nolan's best in your regard?
Ooh, probably The Prestige.
I love The Prestige. Didn't Jonathan Nolan write that one? His brother wrote that, didn't
I
he?
think so. Actually,
Yeah.
no, it's The Dark Knight. Of course it's The Dark Knight. What am I on about? It's The Dark Knight. It's the best Nolan film.
Dark Knight is pretty amazing.
Yes, I watch that film basically every year.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's a fantastic film.
I do the same with Back to the Future.
Ah,
I have that on pretty much repeat on my television. I
that
absolutely
makes
love that film.
sense. I can tell you what the worst Christopher Nolan film is. The Dark Knight Rises.
I did not like that film.
Nobody did, because everybody had eyes.
A friend of mine is a film student, and he actually loves it. I think because of the way it's
How
crafted.
badly is he failing his course?
Yeah, he is a massive alcoholic.
In fairness, I have to say, I enjoyed it whilst I was watching it. It was a strange experience, because whilst I was watching it, I was okay with it. And then after like the credits rolled and you get that last shot with Michael Caine, you're like, oh, that was really nice. He got what he was supposed to in the end. And then I started thinking about what I'd actually watched.
Right.
And it was like a mirage, that film. Whilst I was watching it, I didn't think I was experiencing it.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like climbing across this barren desert to get to this beautiful vision. And once I got there and had a look around, I realised that it was all really badly plotted.
Yeah. I mean, it almost, to me, it works better as a conceptual art piece, where the events actually don't have any relation to each other. I think it was after he escapes from the hole, I was like, okay, this has now just jumped out of the realms of any kind of reason or logic. He's back in the city, and he's okay.
Yep. Literally all they needed was like a 30-second scene in which Michael Caine picked him up.
Right.
That's literally all they needed.
A shot of Bruce Wayne in a small African village or somewhere or wherever.
South American
village. That makes sense. Dressed in rags or whatever, dehydrated, starving, begging to use a phone or something in a
And
language.
the way they could have done that was circular towards Batman Begins, where
There you go.
you find him bedraggled and so on,
Yep.
and he ends up bedraggled. Like, it was very badly done. There's so much wrong with that film that I'm never going to see it again.
I liked the concept of Bane in that film.
In fairness,
the way he was done.
I
liked.
really liked Tom Hardy's Bane.
Comparing him to the comic books as a Venom pumped, just a very strong man.
Yes.
Really. I liked how they twisted that into more of a political activist.
Yes, I quite liked it.
Yeah. It
I'd
was very
say
interesting.
I did quite like it. It's just a shame that the Talia al Ghul twist was stupid. I still agree with Kevin Smith that if Talia al Ghul had sex with Batman, why didn't she just go to give him a blowjob and bite his cock off and that be her final revenge? Because that would hurt way more than anything else.
It does seem a bit of a silly thing to do. It's like, haha, we had sex,
Yes.
and now I'm going to kill you. It's like, but you could have killed me at any moment. Maybe
Exactly.
when I was sleeping, perhaps after the sex.
You could have killed me before I had an orgasm in order to really annoy me.
I mean, this suit is hard to take off. While I was fumbling with the batsuit, you could have just stabbed me in the back quite easily.
Exactly. It's not a great film.
But it's not the worst Batman film. Even with all its flaws, it is still a Batman film that I would prefer to watch than, for example, Batman and Robin. Nipples, man. Nipples on a batsuit.
I know.
And Alfred designed the batsuit. What is he thinking?
He's thinking that Bruce has fantastic nipples.
We really need to accentuate the Master's nipples in this suit. Gonna put those in there. And this codpiece is just not big enough. I'm gonna have to extend this as well.
I like to think that actually it was Bruce Wayne who demanded those. Like, people need to know that I have fantastic nipples. It's really important to me that everyone knows that bat nipples are the best nipples.
Bat nipples.
No, bat nips. I think you're probably right though. Batman and Robin is such a terrible film.
Do you think that it's ruined the idea of Robin? Do you think that we'll ever be able to actually get a decent Robin in a Batman film?
Well, I'd maybe say no, except that the execution of Robin in The Dark Knight Rises was terrible as well.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seems as though it's very difficult to actually get right. I mean, one of the good things Batman vs Superman did was having a post-Robin Batman. And having that case with the ruined suit in it. That was interesting.
I think they missed a trick, though, because obviously it was the same as The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And a Carrie Kelly Robin could have been quite a good addition to that cast.
I think it would have helped the film a lot, especially if they're trying to sort of place Bruce Wayne in a place where he was killing people and he was merciless. He'd gone to the dark side a
He
little
didn't
bit.
kill anyone.
He absolutely does kill people. There is. He doesn't go to anyone and shoot them in the face. But when he drives his Batmobile through the back of a lorry full of people, there are no survivors there. Batman kills a lot of people in that film. There are a lot of cars that get smashed up and broken up. He has very little concern for human life.
Fair enough.
Unless he's so good that he has judged the maneuver so well.
Batman.
Because I'm Batman.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's gone through the back of the lorry knowing exactly where every single person is.
That's what I choose to believe.
That's a good, yeah.
In fairness, though, have you played Arkham Knight?
I've not. I've played the first three.
That is the
Is
third
that
one.
No, the first two then. City and Arkham Asylum.
Okay, in Arkham Knight, he gets the Batmobile, and yeah, he definitely kills people whilst he's in the Batmobile. There's no
Right.
way around it.
Does he kill them or does your poor driving kill them?
Yes.
Right.
The answer to that question is yes.
It's not really Batman's fault if you're just a shit driver.
But there's definitely missions where he has to attack people as the Batmobile.
It's always been a bit of a sticky kind of question there. Does Batman kill? Because there's certain situations where things explode or buildings collapse and it's like he's definitely at least responsible for some manslaughter.
I think he's criminally negligent, but I
Right.
don't think he manslaughters people. But he does, however, cripple them permanently, which in many cases is probably worse.
He has no
And yet,
compunction.
he never cripples the Joker permanently. That's one of the things that if I were Batman, I would definitely cripple the Joker permanently. I would cut all of his hamstrings and I would break his knees and his elbows so he could never commit a horrendous crime again.
It does appear to be a good solution to the Joker question.
I know, but he doesn't do it. I mean, I know in the DC universe and so on, there's a lot of ways that the Joker could be healed and brought back to like complete.
Yes, because didn't he have his
Functioning
face? He had his face peeled off into the Joker, and then it was replaced again.
Oh, sorry, people. That is the noise that tells us that we have very little charge left on the device we're recording on, so I apologise for that in the background. In answer to your question, yes, he does cut off his own face, and I don't know if that's actually healed back or not.
Could you survive that, do you think?
I think you probably
No, could you survive that?
Could I survive that?
I have got very
No.
detailed
There are many-
plans for the
There
evening.
are many paper cuts that I feel would kill me, let alone actually cutting off my face. So,
Right.
on that strange note,
Right.
we're going to go and Ben's going to cut off my face. So
That
thank
is
you very
accurate.
much.
I mean,
yes,
yeah,
it's literally what's
that
going to
sort of
happen.
wraps up my evening.
So thank you very much, everyone, for
Yes.
listening. I've been Sean Wallace.
And I have been Ben Athey.
Get your asses to Play Expo or else.